Wake windows are often talked about as a magic fix for baby sleep troubles, but solely following wake windows to determine when your baby needs to nap often doesn't work, and sadly that often leads to extra stress and anxiety for new parents. Just like us adults, some babies naturally need more or less sleep than others even at the same age. And this difference can be pretty big. As an example, the National Sleep Foundation say babies from 0 to 3 months of age generally need 14 to 17 hours of sleep per day. But it's totally normal for some to need up to 2 hours more or 2 hours less than this average. That means while one baby might be good with just 12 hours of sleep, another might need up to 19 hours. That's a massive 7 hours difference. Given the vast differences in sleep needs, it's unlikely that your baby will need a nap after being awake for the same amount of time as another baby the same age. For example, if your little one has a low sleep requirement, they will happily stay awake longer than another baby the same age. And if you were to try to put them down for a nap at that recommended wake window, they might resist because they're just not tired. Or if they do fall asleep, it might be shorter than expected as they simply weren't ready for sleep. On the flip side, if your baby needs more sleep than other babies their age, they might get tired and fussier earlier than what the standard wake windows suggest. And keeping them awake for the recommended time could make them overtired, resulting in a cranky baby who's even more difficult to get to sleep. But that's not all. In those first 6 months, your baby's wake windows will change from one nap to the next. This is because the length and quality of your baby's previous nap plus what they do while they're awake plays a crucial role in determining the length of your baby's wake windows. To explain what I mean, we need to talk about sleep pressure. Sleep pressure is the driving force that eventually makes your little one feel the need to nap. Think of sleep pressure as your baby's sleepiness cup. When your baby is awake, they're filling up this cup with sleepy liquid. Everything they do, like playing, eating, or just looking around, adds more sleepy liquid to this cup. The more active and busy they are, the quicker this cup fills up. When it's full, your baby feels very sleepy and needs to nap. And during their nap, the amount of liquid in their cup gradually decreases as they use up this sleepy liquid. How long and how well your baby naps affects how empty their cups become. Imagine your baby has had a really long nap. During that nap, they'll use up all of their sleepy liquid. They'll wake up feeling great and they will stay awake for a longer time because they need to fill up their empty cup again. This means they'll have a longer wake window. But if your baby only has a short nap, they won't use much sleepy liquid. They'll still have some left in their cup. So they'll fill up this cup again more quickly and will probably need another nap fairly soon. This means they'll have a shorter wake window. This is why you can't just go by wake windows alone to know when your baby is ready for a nap. Instead, try to think of wake windows as just one element of a 3-part method to assess if your baby is truly tired. Think of these 3 components as pieces of a puzzle that, when put together, provide a complete picture of your baby's sleep needs. The second piece of this puzzle involves recognizing the signs your baby use to tell you that they're tired. When your baby starts to feel tired, they will begin to show you early signs of tiredness. These can be subtle, but they're important to notice. Early tired signs can include glazed or unfocused eyes, staring blankly into the distance, a decreased interest in people or toys, less moving, and slow blinking. If you miss these early tired signs, your baby will progress onto more noticeable late tired signs, and these can include jerky body movements, yawning, frowning, starting to fuss, rubbing their eyes and ears, and sucking their fingers. And if you miss these late tired signs, your baby will resort to more urgent signs of tiredness, which is crying. The third piece of the puzzle is understanding your baby's general pattern. While babies under 6 months of age don't follow a strict sleep schedule, they typically follow a basic pattern of waking up, having a feed, a little bit of playtime if they're not overly tired before going back to sleep. And they repeat this cycle numerous times throughout the day. In those first few weeks of life, your baby's awake period will be very short. It might only be long enough for them to have a feed, and then they'll fall asleep while feeding or straight after that feed. But what you will notice is that as your baby grows, they'll naturally stay awake for longer stretches following each feeding, leading to that pattern of wake, feed, play, and then sleep. By considering all three of these puzzle pieces, so your baby's age-appropriate wake windows, their tiredness signs, and their general pattern, you can have a better idea of when your baby is ready for a nap. Now, knowing how to better understand when your baby is ready for a nap is going to help, but as you already know, this is just one piece of the gigantic baby sleep puzzle. There are also those times when you spend hours shushing, patting, bouncing, rocking, trying to get them to finally fall asleep, only for them to wake 30 minutes later. Then there's the frequent waking throughout the night, sudden bouts of fussiness when nothing seems to soothe them, refusal to sleep anywhere but on you, and that's just the start. The bad news is the first 6 months are always probably going to be a shock to the system. But they don't have to feel like one big sleep-deprived blur. There are things that you can do to reduce the number of times your little one wakes throughout the night, to get them to settle when it feels almost impossible, to get them to fall asleep easier, reduce catnapping and early morning wakes, and to help with a lot of the other challenges that come with newborn sleep. But the answers aren't always easy to find, and things don't always go to plan, especially when you're in the moment and stress and exhaustion are high. Which is why I wanted to create something to provide extra help for new parents who are finding this stage particularly challenging. And I'm really excited that today is the day I can finally share it with you, along with a special offer to celebrate the launch. Peaceful Dreams is my new course to help with every aspect of sleep for babies 0 to 6 months of age. And depending on when you watch this, there are a series of discounts and bonuses as part of my launch celebration, including over 50% off the regular price, plus free access to my 0 to 6 month old development course, Newborn Essentials, for those who get in early. It covers everything from learning how to read your baby's cues and understand the difference between tiredness and other needs, to getting them to fall asleep easier, getting longer stretches of sleep at night, managing catnapping, the period of purple crying and general fussiness, and lots more. But on top of that, I've also included lots of real-world footage that shows you exactly how to implement it. You get to look over my shoulder as I put all the techniques into practice, including the failures. What I really wanted to do is show you the real version of what managing young baby sleep looks like, not just the parts where it works perfectly. The purpose of the program is to help your little one and you get better sleep, not watch a highlight reel, realize that it doesn't look like that when you implement it, and then giving up exhausted and defeated. But even then, I realized there will still be questions, so I want to make sure that you're able to get the support you need when those questions do inevitably arise. So I've also added a community element that allows you to post your questions and have myself and my team answer them for you, as well as connect you with other parents to support and help each other along the way. I'm so excited to finally share this with you. It's been almost a year in the making and the feedback so far has been amazing. If it sounds like it might be helpful for your family, head on over to brightestbeginning.com/peaceful dreams for all the details. The link is also in the description below if you want it, and I hope to see you in the community.